This is probably gonna be a very unusual video for you guys. I have been gone a lot. As I explained in one of my previous videos, I was quite absent on YouTube for a long period of time. One of the things that I've been doing a lot since I haven't been online or I haven't been on YouTube is reading. Always used to read, and I read a lot of books even before. I have a big collection of books. I have books behind me. I see reading as like a secret weapon, because all the big smart people that have made something of their life or have made a big impact on the world most likely didn't record a YouTube tutorial or video. Most of them wrote a book. This is the reason why I like to read books, because I kind of feel like there is hidden information that's not on the internet that is in these books. Besides that, it also calms me down a lot. It's way relaxer for my brain and everything compared to sitting behind computer screens, because I have to do that for my job already 8 hours a day, and then doing it for a hobby for an additional couple of hours can make me go nuts sometimes. So today I wanted to show you guys a couple of books that I've been reading during my absence, which I think are very good books. Some of them I've read a long time ago, but I still wanted to share a couple of books which I think could also change your life or impact your life. I'm doing this in a random order because there is no best or worst book. I read so much different stuff, and I think it's very good for people with an entrepreneurial mindset or people with an open mindset, I would say, because I read very, very different books, to take a look into this. And even if you're from the Balkan niche, I still have some books for you as well. So the first book that I've read is Getting to Yes. This book basically explains different strategies, different personas of people that you can encounter during negotiation processes or just during other conversations, arguments, or whatsoever. How to respond to these different personas, their behavior, their attitude that they take towards you when trying to haggle for a car, trying to negotiate big contracts in a company. I started reading this book for a reason. When negotiating, I can be very harsh. Sometimes I see that this is not the best approach, to be as stubborn as I am, and you can get to the same point just by picking different words or a different way of bringing the exact same message, which I found super interesting. So Getting to Yes from Roger Fisher and William Ury. Yeah, I think so, right? Or if I pronounce people's or authors, their names wrong. And by the way, all these books are not that expensive, so you can get them on Amazon for pretty cheap, even used. Next one of the classics, one of my favorite books as well, Rich Dad Poor Dad. If you haven't read it, it's basically written from the perspective on what a rich dad would do in a certain situation regarding money, etc., and which decisions a poor dad would make in certain situations, and also about mentality and things like that. And this is the book that made me start a lot of business ideas, a lot of tests, a lot of investing early on. I read this book when I was 16, and I made an account back in the day. You didn't need like ID verification for like stock websites, and I would buy stocks already. Later on, I had to go through a lot of trouble to transfer it to my real ID, because I used like my calling name, not my formal name, and I had a bunch of trouble to get everything back, get all those stocks back to my own name, but to my official name once I reached 18. And once they, of course, started checking all these documents. This is super good for people that are not from a rich family, that do not encounter richer, wealthier, or business people in general. It will change the way you look at daily life and also on what is achievable in life. So this is a super, super nice book. It looks small, but it's like super small letters, and there's a lot of pages, and they also leave some space for you to make notes and stuff like that. Super good book. And the third book, again, something regarding, I would say this is like stuff that you can apply in business, but also to your personal life. Power of Habit. This book is basically teaching you on how you can get a new pattern going, or how you can get a new habit going, what the effects are in your brain, how it actually works in your brain, and what the long-term benefits for you are once you learn to master to get new habits. And this is super good if you're a lazy person, people that have like trouble with getting into a new habit or trying to improve their lifestyle, getting a new pattern going. It's super helpful, and it learns to understand how your brain is wired in that sense. Fourth book. This is a very popular one, The 4-Hour Workweek. Basically a book that explains to you that you do not really have to conform to the 9-to-5 job. maybe you can do the same work as someone else because you're more productive in 4 hours, for example, or in 2 hours. And you can maybe outsource certain tasks to other people, etc., etc., etc. How to sell or better use your time, still be there, so you can say to your boss, yes, I finished all the work, but maybe only worked for 4 hours, the 4-hour work week, and completed 40 hours worth of work just by being smart, using things that are out there in the world already. Really depends how you interpret this book. You can interpret this in very various ways and see the benefits from this, but I find it very good that it shows you that you can manage your time way better. I've been using quite some techniques from this book for many years already, and I have to say that it has helped me organize and be more productive in life in general. Then we move on to a Bosnian book. So this is for my Balkan viewers or my Bosnian viewers. This is written by a Dr. Professor Ferit Mujic, and it's called Islamski identitet Europe, which is basically a book. This is an academical work, so don't read this book as in someone's this is someone's opinion. There's a lot of sources linked in this book, and references to other very reliable sources and academic other works. This book basically explains the impact of Islam through Europe, how it is intertwined and how it actually entered way more in many places actually than we realize, or things which are not on first sight that, how do you say it, that clear, which is super super interesting to read. It's a tough book, so for people that don't know the Bosnian language very well, I would not recommend it because there's some very complicated words in there for beginners, but definitely a good book. And then there is another book for my Balkan readers. This is also again written in Bosnian, Serbian, Croatian, however you guys want to call it, but there is a big difference. As far as I know, this book also comes in English. I'm not sure if it's out in English yet, but it should come out in English if it's not already. It's written by Ivo Komšić, and it's called Tuđmanov Haški profil. So Tuđman is the former president of the Republic of Croatia during the wartime in the Balkans, and this book basically shows and has a lot of evidence and proof of the things that Tuđman did to create a bigger Croatian state within Bosnia's borders. And this goes very far into many details with sources and actually the copies of certain CIA and other documents in this book, official documents, showing what kind of strategies and political discussions Tuđman was having with also foreign big presidents of other countries, trying to create or divide Bosnia into a part for Croatia and a part for Serbia. It's very interesting to read how this man tried to do that, and also very interesting to see how actually also extremely nationalistic he was, and also very, very dark-minded. So this gave me a completely different angle. And there's also some cool other stuff in this book. It actually contains a lot of reports, a lot of war reports. These are like official war documents about and also communications between different presidents, between generals, preparations for military operations of Bosnia and Herzegovina. A majority of Croatians were living when the war started, and their operations together against the Bosniaks, against the Serbs, their ideas on how to take over certain Bosnian positions, but also the other way around. Like, these are like full agendas of both sides, both Bosnian and Croatian sides, but also some part of Serbian sides regarding the war. So it contains stuff and very detailed information that I spoke about in the past in my videos, where people are like, oh no, yeah, this has not happened, this not happened. Please, I really read a lot, as you can tell, and a lot of different topics. I read books from very renowned writers with verified sources, with actual copies of the documents there, and with way many other information. Pablo's also wanting some attention, also says that this is true. Can you please fuck off, you little cunt? But this is a very good book. I would really recommend for people to read this. So if it comes out in English or if it's out already in English, Ivo Komšić, Tudjmanoharski profile. But yeah, those are the books that I've been reading for the past months. I'm also reading a German book, but this is something for maybe another video. But yeah, I hope you guys like this little update video on what I've been reading, and maybe you can actually get something from this video. Maybe you can pick up one of these books and have some interesting information, because I mean, some of these books are not very popular. They're looking for new books to read one of those books. It's, as you can see, it's quite thick and it's a lot. And I'm reading way more books, actually. Also regarding other religions and stuff like that. Not so much because I'm mega interested in religion, but I'm very interested in how religions impact society and why people from certain religions think a certain way, why they believe that, what is written into their holy books. So I've been reading also various different holy books. I find it very intriguing, and I find it important for me to read and understand these things in order to be able to understand other people and their perspectives better. And yeah, as I said, I'm very open to learning and reading all kinds of different things. And therefore, I also read very different books. And I would always recommend other people to read books as well. Because as I said, not everything is on the internet, believe it or not. If you liked the video, please leave a like down below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I see all of you in the next video. Ciao.
Perfect.